Bill Gates is one of the many powerful figures who show up in the Epstein files, and both he and his ex-wife Melinda are responding about some disturbing emails about him that have come to light. Take a look.
Whatever questions remain there of what I can't even begin to know all of it, those questions are for those people and for even my ex-husband. They need to answer to those things, not me. I left my marriage. I had to leave my marriage. I wanted to leave my marriage. I had to leave I felt I needed to eventually leave the foundation. So it's just sad.
I was only at dinners. I never went to the island. I never met any women. And so, the more that comes out, the more clear it'll be that although the time was a mistake, it had nothing to do with that kind of behavior.
I know nothing. I did nothing.
Well, Melinda said that Bill needs to answer to questions about these allegations. As we keep saying, they all need to answer about these allegations. And do you think his denials in the interview are enough?
No, I mean, people can read what the Department of Justice itself released in terms of the Epstein files and Bill Gates. It's written right in the emails, and I do think that he needs to answer to it. It's unfortunate that Melinda Gates has said, I had to leave my marriage in part because of his association with Jeffrey Epstein. And I think that is a pretty big statement. They have 3 children together. They were married for 27 years married, 3 children together. And the fact that someone says, I understand that Bill Gates is denying the Epstein emails and says that they are completely false. They were released by the Justice Department, and I think he should answer to it.
I like when they say, I was not on the island, as if that's the only place any of this stuff could happen.
Yeah, his homes, they were spooky. Everyone describes them, including Melinda Gates, as, I regretted it from the second I stepped in the door when she met Epstein.
Yes.
He was abhorrent. He was evil personified. I had nightmares about it afterwards.
And she only met him once.
And well, Howard Lutnick famously said on a podcast recently that Epstein was, quote, the greatest blackmailer ever. So I do believe there are people probably wrapped up in this that could explain, and it doesn't incriminate everyone. We know that. But it has to see the light of day because it's people that are associated with this that have so much power. They're men, aside from
power
Ghislaine
and money.
Yes,
and influence.
And not accountable. So if you're embarrassed by the things you did, that is the least of anyone's concerns. There were women, hundreds and thousands of women abused that will never get that part of them.
Girls,
excuse me, teenagers that will never get that broken part back. And that, let them be embarrassed. Let them talk in front of people. Air it all out.
I know this is by no means the big takeaway of this, but it does bring me back to a lesson like my mom always taught us, which is like money doesn't buy happiness. Some of the men caught up in this are some of the most powerful, politically connected, wealthy men on the planet. And you see how, despite their accomplishments, they're lonely. They're turning to the darkest corners for satisfaction. They're turning to victimizing women. And it's just so gross to me when you read through some of these exchanges.
Somebody once said,
said,
behind all great wealth is a great crime.
Right?
Yeah.
And the ending of that is because they can.
Because they can, and because they were able to get away with it for so long because they protected each other.
And not only did they protect each other, but we were complicit in all of this. We are complicit because...
How?
I'm going to tell you how. Women didn't say, hey, don't do that. Don't stand up for that. Women did not stand up for other women. Women saw what was going on and didn't say, stop this. They didn't come out and say, this is going on. Well,
But what do you mean we? I mean,
I mean women, because, listen, for years, men thought that it was okay to treat women this way. We see it on television all the time. We see people, we see all of the... And until we stand up, until women stand up and say, hey, never again, not anymore.
Well, Melinda's not putting up with it. Melinda Gates is not.
Well, and the victims are being very brave.
Well, they are being beyond brave because they're standing up where other women are not. And that's the point here. Everybody has to take some responsibility for this because unless you recognize what it meant, what they did to these girls, you're not going to care. It's important that you recognize what's going on here. It's so important. And just to be clear, You know who, Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton and Bill Gates all said they did not go to the island.
Again,
Yeah.
there were other
Okay.
places to go besides the island.
Well, I guess they're saying we wasn't there.
Yeah.
So
Well,
you
Hillary
have to
Clinton
figure out the other
definitely
places were.
said that
Yeah.
she was not involved in any criminal behavior.
No, and she wasn't. But, you know, this is how these people roll. This is just to make a mockery. For me, this is a mockery that they're making, to make people feel bad and to scare people. But the girls are not scared.
Yeah.
The girls are not scared.